I was very much considering this might be it.
What decision did you have to make to break away from this attitude?
Well, like we said, we were deciding whether or not we wanted to make music again, and that in that decision there was a conflict of whether we felt that we had something powerful, more progressive to offer, something that was, I guess, more in line with what we felt we could bring as a band from when we started, or should we just kind of call it a day? Is our time done? I think by the changes that we went through, by Darren leaving and Gavin moving to play guitar and bringing these song ideas from a perspective of an outsider looking into the band, really changed that cynical attitude to a more, I guess, open, fun attitude, a more kind of, I guess we were retroactively looking back at the 20-year-olds that we were when we first started making music, and we literally sat down with each other. I remember having a conversation and just saying, like, this is what I loved about being in Funeral for a Friend. Let's be that band again. Let's be this band that we were and that we left behind about 3 years ago.
How close were you to stopping then, quitting the band?
I was probably pretty close. I was very much considering whether, you know, this might be it. You know, a year out, and sometimes a time to reflect can be, for certain people, a dangerous thing. I think a lot. Sometimes for the detriment of my own sanity, but I just felt like maybe we had just come to the point of giving all we could give. And I had that daily battle on a daily basis for the best part of 6 months. And then Gavin, our new guitar player, basically said, you know, guys, I think we should write stuff like this because I think the last 2 records you did were pretty shit. In a way that could only be Gavin. He was like, you know, I don't like playing those songs. It doesn't seem like Funeral for a Friend to me. This is what I think Funeral for a Friend is.
What song did he play to you then? What?
Well, he would play stuff like off the Hours album, stuff like Roses for the Dead. Stuff that, for me, was, at the time, my definitive Funeral for a Friend record. Because it was the combination of existing, surviving the first 2 years of aggressive touring to actually be able to make the second album, and I felt we made it better than the first one. So for me, it was like the true album of what we'd done and achieved at that point. So he came up with that concept of, like, you know, we're going to write songs that just will kick us in the ass.
What was the first song that?
It's a song called Man Alive off the new album, and I remember Gavin's exact words when he sent me the email through with the song idea on it. He was like, this song is more funeral than funeral. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting kind of way of putting it. Loaded it up into my iTunes and heard the music. And it was more funeral than we'd ever been. It was the guitar into play, the arrangement. It was aggressive yet beautifully melodic at the same time. The kind of sound that we had, but took it to a different level, and that really just literally made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and I was just like on my keyboard, just I started writing for the first time in a few months. Lyrics were just kind of like pouring out.
What was the first lines that you said, well, this is going to be, well, the essence of the lyrics to the song?
It's hard. I don't have a method where I kind of like look at it and think that's the definitive moment where I kind of, these are the lyrics. I just kind of write, train thought, and then find the idea, find the concept within the first couple of drafts or something. It may just be like a load of poetry, maybe like a story, it's just words, just to get myself going again. Because sometimes I don't even write when I'm on tour. I can't separate my mind from performance and creation. When we're on tour, it has to be one thing or the other. So for me, I was busy I was just excited that I was writing words, even though at the time, at the start of it, they weren't making much sense to me. And then I would go back and edit and then look at myself and look at what I wanted to write about and then find something, a theme or something that I really felt strongly about and then would work on it in that perspective.